he doesn't actually have any powers. He's completely weak and he can't fight or anything, but he's S rank because everybody thinks he has powers.
Shifting Tones, the podcast with nerdy tones and shifting formats. I'm your host this week, Steph, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Sam.
Hey guys, it's me in person. Look at my face, it's here.
And Lorissa.
Hiya, how's it going?
Hello, yes. So welcome back, everyone and dear listeners. And we're doing something brand new, as you can probably see if you tune in to us on YouTube, is we're trying out something new. We are trying out our face cam. Oh, my voice cracked with that one. We're trying out face cam now, or like
Absolutely.
Just us talking to everyone. So this is a little bit different. I think it'll take us probably a couple recordings to get more used to doing like a face cam podcast, because for most of you who are aware, we've been doing the podcast for over a year, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Over a year. And it's just been our voices. So now we're going to try to add like our lovely faces to it. So welcome back, dear listeners. It'll be a little new change, hopefully a cool step, a next step for us. But yeah, we're going to jump right into our quick little small talk. Going to see what's been going on in everybody's lives. Between the two of you, who would like to start?
Well, you're technically between the two of us as far as video goes.
Okay,
well,
that's fair.
Right now, as we're recording, I'm sure that can change while we're editing.
Yeah, I have no idea how this works. I'll go first, because why not? Because I don't think I have anything as far as this weekend goes. Larissa's going to talk about home projects that we did, because I really don't remember whatever else happened this weekend. So I just got my controversial corner. We're just going to roll right into it.
Okay.
That's why the people are here. Number one. Hat making is one of the hardest jobs in the world, and I think more people should learn how to do it.
Okay, where did this come from? Did you watch
some video?
All kinds of hats, or just a certain type, or just
primarily cowboy hats? I would say.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think like this hat. Would be terribly difficult to make. It's probably made in a factory.
Oh, sure.
But I watched a video of a guy who custom makes cowboy hats, and he put like a skull in the middle and like made it, customized to the size of the head too. So. There's a lot going on there, and I think that it's a valuable skill that we should all learn. I think we should get rid of math in schools and replace it with hat making.
Just hat making.
That's controversial right there.
Nobody needs math, but they need hat making.
Sure
Okay.
Do.
Any comments on that? No?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. If you want to let me, interject, before you go on and bulldoze. So...
Perfect.
What I hear... No. What I hear is that you have a newfound appreciation for handicrafts, which is interesting because if I interject real quickly, I just watched one of my favorite YouTubers called Kathleen Illustrated. She just did her 2025 updates for trends for fashion this year. And she said that there's going to be a renewed interest in handicrafts because people are not following trends as much anymore. And they are following the resistance and trying to make their own clothing items. So hat making, knitting sweaters, all that kind of good stuff. It's going to be trendy, so maybe we'll see more cowboy hats in our future too.
We better. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2. Subway is good, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. Listen up. Subway, the restaurant, the subs, they're fine. Sure. Get over it. Stop complaining. Jimmy John's isn't that good. Jersey Mike's isn't that good. Firehouse Subs isn't that good. Subway's fine. Subway's completely fine. Obviously, it's not top tier. It's not Penn Station or what's another top tier sandwich shop?
Any local...
You listed all of them.
Potbelly. Fantastic sandwich shop.
I was going to say any local deli in probably New York or any major big city. They're going to be like,
no, I'm not talking about local ones. I'm talking about chains. I think.
Okay, well, there's a difference. So
right, Subway, as far as a chain goes, is actually a good sandwich chain, and you should just deal with it.
Hard pass on that.
All right. Yeah. That must be controversial.
I can't eat it anymore. It just like grosses me out. After working at it, I'm like, nah.
Well, see, I worked at it when I was like 16, so I got past it, now, but at the ripe age of 21. All right. And number 3 on my list, and this is probably the most controversial, especially for a nerdy podcast. The Last Jedi is a top 3 Star Wars movie, and A New Hope is the worst one.
That's disgusting. I'm gonna divorce you now for that opinion.
That is completely fine. So,
Jeez.
No. So The Last Jedi visually is stunning. The fights are probably the best fights in the show. You have or in all of Star Wars, you have one of the best, like, just cinematic scenes in the world where the ship flies through the other ship, the holder maneuver, or whatever it's called. And A New Hope is just boring and slow, and the lightsaber fights suck. And I know it was the first one; it was made in the 70s, but
come on, there is not as near as much plot development, character development, anything that makes a good narrative.
Plot doesn't matter in a space opera.
That is not true at all.
I feel like I just don't even know the differences between the movies based on their names. I was like, I don't know. Like, so people have to tell me like what order to watch them in. Sure. I don't know them by their names.
Yeah.
So in this one, there's lightsaber fights, and in the other one, there's lightsaber fights.
Oh yeah.
I kind of know them more based on like the things that happen in them. Like I'm like, okay, there's a movie where Anakin was younger and he killed the younglings. Like I'm like, okay, that's a movie.
Well, yeah, you're kind of right there. Yeah.
And then I'm like, there's one where, Darth Vader's revealed to be a father. So it's kind of like I know them only by the big events. So
I love the way you word that. Darth Vader finds out he's a father, as if like he just had a baby. Like, no, I think it's in the top 3. I don't know if it's number 1. I think Rogue One is number 1, and probably number 3, Revenge of the Sith, is in there too. So it is what it is. Deal with it. Sorry, nerds.
Is that all for your controversial?
That's all. That's my controversial. Wow. Oh wait, my dad wanted me to say something about goat cheese.
Goat cheese. Okay.
Goat cheese is good on pizza.
I could see that. It's good with anything for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not controversial, but he said talk about goat cheese today.
Okay, we did it for you, Pops.
That's nice. Nice. Okay, Lorissa, do you want to go ahead with your talk?
Yeah, so we can move
updates.
Yeah, we can move right into our HGTV update from Lorissa.
Okay, what you been up to?
Yeah, so we finally put our quarter round in around our living room floors, and those look really nice. And a quarter round. So what you do is when you put new flooring in, is in order to make sure that the flooring is level, you leave a little bit of space next to the wall.
Oh, to put those thingies in?
No, you're thinking of shims. That's
what I'm thinking
you're supposed to do, but we didn't really do that. But yeah, you're supposed to give a little bit of space, which is like, I don't know what the diameter
quarter
is.
Inch.
About a quarter inch. And so like when it gets hot, it can expand, and in the winter when it gets cold, it can retract. And so what you do as a secret trade is you put a little quarter round piece of wood around the entire trim of your wall to hide that space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It just kind of makes everything like flow and look nice. It evens everything out. So you have your baseboard at the bottom of your wall, and then you'll see this kind of little like bump that's like a half circle, a quarter circle or whatever.
Yep.
Quarter round. And it's just to make it look nice.
Oh, okay.
You probably have it in your house.
You do.
Maybe.
When I looked. Yeah.
I'm sorry I don't look at my baseboards all that often.
No, you're good.
Go look at your baseboards more often.
Yes, do it. I appreciate that handiwork because it is not easy. Dear old Sam here had a hard time making sure all of the cuts for the 45-degree angles met up. And, if you're not a professional, you don't have the most professional tools, it's not easy. And so, of course, we were like, we did so well in our living room with our quarter round. I finally finished up our border trim and our trim, upper trim. I'm trying to figure out what to call it. I heard it called a chair rail today, one of my interior design videos.
Yeah, it's kind of what it's called, yeah. It's like at the midpoint of the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally like that. I have one.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, got it. So just middle of the wall trim.
Yeah.
Yes. So now it looks really nice and it looks a little classy and elegant, and just don't look too close at the fine details. We still have to finish up with caulking in the nail holes. We have like a first initial layer, but I think we need to go in and get some more like wood fill to properly seal it in so you don't notice all of our little imperfections. So we're getting there, but I'm excited. Nice. And then I could finally move on to some more interesting things like taking down our shower curtain rod and spray painting that chrome, because currently it is rusty.
Sorry, I thought you said like the curtain, and I'm like, why are you spray painting the shower curtain?
No, you're good.
I didn't catch the rod part at the end for a second. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah,
the mental image, I was like,
abstract.
The cart or the tarp, like, okay, sorry.
So yeah, there's like tons of little nitty gritty things I still need to do in our bathroom, and Yeah, we also are trying to do it on a budget, so the shower rod itself is perfectly fine. It's just that it's got rusted from over the years, so I just want to take it down and spray paint it.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Makes sense.
And that's our HUT corner with Lorissa this week.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all
right.
I've been doing this week. So,
well, I guess I'll jump into me. I have been very busy with everything in my life. I know, surprising. Probably the most, we'll start with off the good things. The good things is I spent time with my family this weekend. That was nice. Then the other big thing, I've talked about it before on previous episodes, is I got a YouTube video finally published and out.
We watched it.
Right.
Did
it
you?
Really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was fun.
That's good. I was not super thrilled making it, so it was kind of a struggle to edit. But it got through, it got done, and I'm kind of surprised at how well it's doing. And I was kind of like, what the heck? Because I just felt like my level of care with this one was not there as much as other ones. But
I mean, any Minecraft content usually does well. So
yeah, that's fair. Anyway, but that's that. The other thing, bad news, is just still doing classes, still struggling, and work has been a lot, and that's just the negatives, but nothing too bad. I mean, things are fine.
Get over it.
Get over it. Yep.
How's that tattoo recovery
going?
forgot
about that.
Yeah!
Actually,
you got a tattoo? What?
I did get that tattoo. I guess for the video people, I could actually show it to you on video because I have it. Listeners, if you want to see my new tattoo, you have to go to our YouTube then at Shifting Tones. So this is my anime arm. So you guys knew about this one, right? For the Naruto one. But this is my newest one.
Oh, what a cutie.
It's hard to see with the camera.
No, but I can pick it out for sure.
That's kind of if you see it. So it turned out super good.
Yeah.
I was really excited about it. So
what's he holding in his hand?
Dimple.
Okay.
Cute. I love
He's holding up, it's from the manga, so it's like an actual like manga drawing. I don't know if you can kind of see it.
Yeah. Looks good.
But I love it. It's turned out super good and just makes me want to get more tattoos. I have to calm myself. It is like going in for a session, hearing the bzzz, and then just getting the feeling of it scratching. Like I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I already have like 3 more planned, and I'm like, oh no. Anyway. Oh,
did you know our friend Deanna got a tattoo?
Yes, I did know that she had one scheduled recently, but I didn't know if it actually got done or not.
She got it this past weekend, yeah.
Oh, so we're almost twinning in that way.
Twinning, yeah.
We sure
almost.
are.
I mean, I got mine nearly a week ago, but still within the same week. All right. Well, we kind of talked about my anime tattoo. I guess that'll be my segue for today.
Ooh.
So today's topic is going to be the ultimate showdown.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. So we're going to be talking about something because actually we didn't even mention it. We're having a Shifting Tones meetup again this weekend.
We sure are.
Can I go?
I guess you're invited, I suppose.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I mean, your wife's coming, so I mean,
I am.
That's
I'm
true.
going to be there.
Whichever side you're on. But yes, so we're having a Shifting Tones meetup weekend because we're going to an anime convention together, so that'll be super cool. And I was like, you know what, we should do an anime themed episode for this week because that would just fit the theme of the week.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, why not?
So we're doing the ultimate showdown, which I picked out a whole bunch of different kind of famous or kind of iconic anime characters, and I kind of pitted them for a different series. So for example, you might have someone from Dragon Ball Z fighting against someone from Demon Slayer, or you might have someone from Full Metal Alchemist against My Hero Academia, right? So I paired together these characters, and we're going to discuss who's going to win, or what would happen, or like what you think a cool aspect of the fight would potentially be if these two characters go head to head. That makes sense?
Good.
Yeah,
perfect.
Absolutely.
All right, so this is a big one. We're going to start off strong in our discussion, okay? The first one I have written down is Saitama from One Punch Man and Goku from Dragon Ball.
Interesting.
Look.
I know a lot of people have talked about this one before, but I just also wanted to have our 2 cents on it.
Yeah, going out with a bang. I like it.
So I'll start.
Okay.
Because I'm the expert here.
Oh,
yes.
Are you?
So, yeah. So I do believe that everybody says that Goku would beat Saitama because Goku is the strongest anime character of all time. Whatever.
Is he, though?
No,
That's
he's
debatable.
But, and that's where I think that they're wrong. I think Saitama would win. He is One Punch Man. He defeats everybody with one punch. Goku has died multiple times.
That's
okay?
true. Actually.
In almost every season, Goku dies.
Yeah.
He always has to get stronger. He has to like break through his limits. And almost every person he defeats is with the help of somebody else. Like he never like wins with
take.
just him, except for like with Frieza. And even then, he had a bunch of his friends like beat Frieza down first, and then he was able to win because he broke his limits and all this stuff.
Power of friendship. Your friends make you stronger.
That's right.
Also,
no, I think
you could say the same though. Sorry to interrupt there. About One Punch Man in the last season that was aired. He was really the last part of this whole like superhero pack. I don't know what they were called themselves. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen One Punch Man, but he was the last one in there. So all those other heroes that were like rank S or whatever, I forget the ranking system.
Yeah,
at this point.
You're right.
Yes,
they beat them down, and so all we had to do was go and punch him. And so he had a lot of people helping him out in order to defeat this character.
Not the main guy though. He ended up fighting him by himself. I don't remember the main villain's name is. Yeah, the alien.
Right, but he was also being beat up by all these other heroes before he even came to the fight.
If Saitama had wanted to, he would have easily single-handedly taken them all out.
I don't know.
He's just apathetic.
One of the S-rank people, his name's King. He doesn't actually have any powers. He's completely weak and he can't fight or anything, but he's S-rank because everybody thinks he has powers.
That's really funny.
I think for me, I'm going to agree with you, Sam. I think it would be Saitama because the author who created Saitama, he literally says, I created One Punch Man because I wanted to kind of play around with the theme of what happens when you have somebody who is the strongest in the world can defeat, like no matter anyone who it is with one punch, like what's left of that person when you're the strongest on top of it.
Right.
And so it kind of explores more of like his boredom, but I do like what you said, Sam, where it's like Goku needs his friends, he needs this. But if you put just the two of them together alone, I think there'd be more of a struggle for Goku.
Absolutely.
I think he definitely would try, and I think Saitama wouldn't defeat him just right off the bat, you know?
No.
But I think if Saitama just put his mind to it and went, he would be done.
I do think that the way Goku wins is if, like, I think Goku might be faster than Saitama. Because he can, like, see that. Teleport at will, essentially. So if he was able to get, like, right behind him with a charged energy blast, put it right up against his back, and just blew a hole through his chest, yeah, I think Goku wins at that point.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that because Saitama is just a mortal and Goku is a god. So
so the only way Goku could win is if he gets the speed first.
Probably. So. I mean, he also has the ability to shoot projectiles, so that could help.
So distance and speed. Got it.
Yep. Absolutely. Goku has to go ranged for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next one. That was a good discussion.
Okay.
I know, Lorissa, you're probably going to be more enthralled with this one because it is Ichigo from Bleach versus Tanjiro from Demon Slayer.
Tanjiro. Ooh. So I have not watched Demon Slayer. Is he the main character then?
He's the main character with like the reddish kind of hair and the big earrings.
The big earrings. So not the guy wearing the green kimono.
No, that's him.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
okay.
That's him.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like dark green hair, kind of like...
Oh, okay.
No, red. Sorry, dark reddish hair.
I thought he had black
like
hair.
Red highlights, but it's not red hair,
It's super like subtle.
Okay, but
it's subtle.
Has a sister named Nezuko, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
He's the one that's trying to protect his sister and turn her back from being a demon.
The 15-year-old sister. The child's sister. Remember that, folks.
No, I remember that.
No, I know, but I think a lot of people know.
Oh, that's a lot of people's waifus is what you're trying to allude to.
Yeah, well, because there's a part of the season where she gets, sorry to derail real quick, where she gets like demon powers and she like grows a little bit, like she gets taller and like more like
she can manipulate
physique,
her age.
you know? Yeah, she like ages, I guess.
That's interesting.
It's a little so problematic.
But basically, I chose them because they're both. Oh my god!
Blah, 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 blah,
blah.
Because they're both sword users, you know, primarily is their attack. So that's why I chose like Ichigo, Tanjiro. They both use swords. Who
good choice.
would win?
Yeah.
Larissa, you want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah, Larissa, go first.
I do want to point out this is something I did miss in my update. I have finally broke down and watched some Dragon Ball Z over the week in order to properly embody the spirit of my cosplay this weekend. So
nice.
Yeah, that's a little hint for what we're cosplaying. So
we're going as Mr. Popo.
No, absolutely not. I'm not doing blackface ever. And just your daily reminder that fascism is bad. So
Yeah.
here we go. But no, like I said, I'm not familiar with Demon Slayer, but Ichigo, oh my god, he is like up there with Goku, I think. Like, he's not like a god per se, but he is as damn close as you could get to being a god. Like, I know he's got all these different supernatural abilities.
Yeah.
And his Bankai is intense. Like, it just keeps getting better and better and better. I think maybe Tanjiro could have defeated Ichigo like season 1 when like he didn't learn all of his like swords names. He doesn't understand the spirituality powers that he has. But like final season, Ichigo defeating Aizen. There's no
Spoiler.
way. Well, it came out like 10 years ago plus now, so if you haven't caught up.
I would agree with you where like I think Ichigo in general would win because I think he's a little more ruthless. I think they showcase in Demon Slayer like Tanjiro is a very kind soul. I don't think he would do well. Like he hates demons.
Right.
But like because Ichigo's technically a real person, you know, he's not like
Tanjiro's not?
Huh?
Tanjiro's a real person.
He's real. He's not a demon. His sister got turned into one.
Well, let's not. There's parts of the manga coming up.
Okay, well, don't spoil because I don't know. Anyway, but for Ichigo, I feel like I agree with you, Lorissa. It depends on which version because if it's the later one, like I said, I think Ichigo's going to win. I think, like you said, it was interesting you brought it up with season 1 where Ichigo's still trying to figure out and learn his powers. That's kind of how like Tanjiro is. He's still figuring out and learning how to do stuff. So he's still kind of in training. So I feel like that would actually be a little more of a closer fight.
Absolutely. I think it'd be way more interesting.
I'll vouch for Tanjiro really quick.
Okay.
I think that if we had peak Tanjiro versus peak Ichigo, I think that there might be a chance that Tanjiro could put up a fight.
How?
I think he's got a lot of hacks compared to Ichigo. Like he's got a bunch of different types of like breathing that he can do. He does both water and fire, right? As of right now.
Yep.
And he's got a bunch of different sword techniques. And Ichigo's kind of like one note, you know, when it comes to a lot of his fighting.
Stopped watching Bleach with me. At some point, Ichigo is a lot more diverse in his techniques. He has to learn things. He's got like flash step. Like he can move around so quickly. He's got like his, I forget what it's called, but it's not a Boro because that's what the Espada have, where he's got a power that he essentially could shoot out.
How strong is his neck?
Oh, extremely.
Well, I mean, unless it's made of stone or steel, I think Tanjiro's going for it. He knows how to cut the neck.
But he's not going to get anywhere close just because of how Ichigo's use of his Bankai is superb. Like, it's just incredible.
No, I have a feeling Ichigo would win. I just wanted to put up an argument for Tanjiro.
It's fair. He does have a little bit of more quirks, but I think later seasons of Ichigo, you learn more about him and his history, and you learn about his mother's side, and even like specifically with that, there's no chance.
Yeah, no, I get it.
All right, I'm gonna move on to our next one.
Okay.
So our next matchup is hopefully you guys know this character or have at least seen a little bit to kind of have the discussion. If there's a character you're like, I don't know if I can vouch, we can skip to a next fight. Right?
Okay.
So we're gonna do Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan.
Eren Yeager.
Versus Kaneki Ken. From
Tokyo Ghoul?
Yes, Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, Tokyo Ghoul.
Now,
rest in peace to that masterpiece that could have been.
I paired them up because they're both kind of freaks in their own way. So I was like, all right.
Little freak battle.
Basically.
Little freaky guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Eren Yeager. I've only watched season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul, which I know is all you need to watch, apparently. A lot of people hate on season 2.
Yeah.
I don't really remember his powers all that much, Mr. Ghouls. But Eren Yeager can turn into a creature that's like the size of Texas. So
that's fair.
And he's extremely strong and powerful. And he committed genocide. And if he has the powers of the founding Titan and the power of whatever this Titan is called that he is right now with the big spaghetti legs, he can control all the other Titans. So I think that's powerful.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in the fight. I don't know if he has that at his disposal. But I would almost argue that Eren Yeager in his just like attack Titan form or whatever that's called, I think he'd
the first
put
form.
up a pretty good chance because he's just strong and fast.
And he's big.
He's big boy.
He's big.
Little big guy.
Kaneki Ken, he was possessed by like the ghoul, and then that kind of side just completely takes over his humanity, and he kind of like loses himself, and like, you know, that power takes over.
Right.
And he has stuff that like comes out of him to kind of like move quicker, so he's fast.
Very fast.
So that would be the only thing, like, even though Eren's big, like, yes, he's fast if we are only talking about that first form. I do think Eren would just win because, you know, he's got all these different types of changes and things like that, but
if Ken know how to kill Eren Yeager?
Well, he's killed people, yes, when he's in the
I know, but does he know that he has to aim for the neck?
Oh, see, that's where, if Eren's in his Titan form, that would be the advantage, because Kaneki probably would not know that. I didn't even think about that. That was a good point, Sam.
Big brain.
Big brain.
Yeah, that Kaneki Ken is actually very smart. That's one of the aspects of him that a lot of the other ghouls pay attention to. They're like, he figures things out fairly quickly compared to all the other ones. So I think he would be able to figure out his weak spot. And because he is so fast, that would definitely give him an advantage. And his whole like arc and saga is like him just suffering, and he can endure so much pain and just keep going and keep regenerating. So like you would almost have to like break down Eren Yeager's will to keep fighting, because Kaneki Ken will just keep coming back.
Sure, and you can't be in Titan form forever.
Exactly. So I think I don't know. I think maybe because I have a soft spot for Kaneki, I want him to win. Obviously, he's not the best character, and I don't really know if he's ever fully redeemed, but I just feel so bad for him. He just wanted to go on a date. The poor guy.
That's true.
It could be a 50-50 toss-up. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm leaning a little more towards Eren winning, just because he's a little more freaky, like just...
Little freaky guy, yeah.
I feel like his determination is a little stronger.
Okay.
In his, like, motives, you know?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do another big fight, and big names. I put these two together, which this one is gonna be hard for me because I don't know. It's gonna be Luffy from One Piece versus Naruto. The two main ones.
Ooh, okay. What I know about Luffy
is
that he's like bubblegum. He's like Mr. Fantastic, right? Essentially?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
Oh, he's
stretchy limbs.
Okay.
Yeah, stretchy limbs. He can turn them into different shapes and sizes, right? And then he can also go into Gear 5, whatever that is, where he gets all white hair and stuff. I don't know what that's about.
I imagine it's
that's the only that's the only One Piece spoiler I know, but I don't know anything about it. Like I've just seen the form, but I don't know. I assume it's very strong. Yeah.
I would say Naruto has this fight. Naruto has the power, I know not all of them, but to kind of bend elements like an avatar, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, he has control over elemental, what do they call it? Elemental chi in this one, in Naruto. And so I think he could do something where he could just drown Luffy, potentially. Okay. But also just based on pure strength, speed, and fighting capability, just from what I know from both animes, I think Naruto has the advantage.
I just feel like it's very, like, because I've been watching both. Like, you know, I've been recently watching One Piece, and I've been getting to see all of it. The reason I paired them together was because I think, you know, both characters strongly present, like, that whole idea, like, I'm never giving up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the strongest,
well, not even I'm the strongest, but it's like, I can't even afford to lose here.
Sure.
They both have that. Every time they go into a fight, they're like, I have my friends, or like, I gotta get to Sasuke, or, you know, this, like, I can't lose. They always say their same dream. It's really interesting because it's like, you know, I'm gonna be Hokage, I'm gonna be King of the Pirates. Like, they are working, and they can't, like, because of their dreams and because of their friends, like, they can't lose. So it's more so, I feel like this, not even just skill, but a battle of determination is kind of how I feel. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know.
Now, quick question.
Yes.
Is Luffy King of the Pirates?
I don't know yet.
No, I mean, as of right now, is he King of the Pirates?
As of right now, no.
No. Yeah, Naruto's the Hokage.
Okay,
he achieved his dream.
That's a good point. Okay.
That's fair.
We could go by that.
I mean, I don't know if that matters as far as fighting ability goes.
That's a great point.
So,
also, Naruto made his dream. Okay.
That's right.
Also, what version of Naruto are we talking about? Are we talking about Boruto Naruto, where he doesn't have the 9 tails anymore?
No, Baryon mode Naruto. Full out, strongest Naruto.
Okay.
I would even say that. Too, I feel like he could even beat him in Sage mode or Sage of the Sixth Path.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Because I was going to say, he has the power of a god, essentially. So I feel like God versus... I don't care how much supernatural power you have. Mortal is always going to lose.
Can Luffy turn into a log?
That's fair. He can't use substitution. No.
Does he have clones? Can he do cloning?
No.
Yeah, can he tempt them away with seduction? Look everywhere.
Yeah, what if Naruto just did sexy jutsu, turned into, I don't know, who's he into? Nami or Boa or whatever, one of the...
presented any of that he's interested in.
Yamato?
Okay, we're going to move on from this one. We're going to go to a kind of a different one. I paired these two characters together because I'm like, okay, a lot of it's been like actual fighting.
Fist fighting, yeah.
This one I thought would be fun to be a little different. Ash Ketchum.
Okay.
Versus Yugi.
Yugimoto!
Okay.
Oof.
Let me tell you why it's Ash Ketchum.
Okay. Hot take.
Is it okay if I go first?
No, go ahead.
I've been going first a lot.
No, you're fine.
I apologize. So, it's Ash Ketchum over Yugi all day, every day.
Okay. Explain.
In Yu-Gi-Oh, specifically Yugimoto's Yu-Gi-Oh Season 1.
Okay.
These monsters are entirely holographic projections.
Oh, okay.
There are parts of Yu-Gi-Oh later on where they're tied down to this, like, you know, hey, you're shackled in, and if you don't win, you get sent to the Shadow Realm, which is an allegory for in the manga for death. So like they actually kill the kids in this.
They do.
But the monsters used to be real things, but they're no longer real. I guess technically the Egyptian gods are, and he has control over those. However, he has to have the ability to play them. He has to have his dual disc, or he has to be in an arena. He could just throw Pikachu out there and kill this poor boy. Pikachu can produce so many volts of electricity. It does not take much voltage to kill a human. I think if Pikachu just shocked Yugi once, he's dead.
Okay, but...
You know how long it would take him to be like, hold on, let me go through my deck and pull out a card. Pikachu's always out there, and he just says, use Thunder. Yugi's dead.
Okay, but how about this? I was kind of thinking this would be a fight more terms of, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh monsters that Yugi has versus, like, Pokemon. Like, it's not, like, attacking the kids, not, like, fist fighting, right? But that is a good point for a fight. But, like, what if the teams went up to compete, like, Ash's 6 versus his... I don't know. I've never actually seen Yu-Gi-Oh, so which is crazy.
40.
But, I know. But I was like, well, I just know that they have the little deck thing, so there's monsters there too.
Well, if we're going monster versus monster, I think Yugi wins then.
Okay.
He has gods on his team. Okay. I don't think Ash Ketch is a single god. I mean, well, I guess
like a legendary?
Legendary. I mean, he has legendary sometimes, but Arceus is the god. I don't think Ash has that. I think Yugi wins then. I mean, Yugi could be strapped up with a Glock, you know, and just take Ash out real quick.
That's true, too. Lorissa, what do you think?
So, I guess, yeah, if we're just going monsters versus monsters, I think Yugi would win, too. Okay. I also just think Yugi would win overall, because if you put Ash in a situation where, like, we have a fair fight where they have to play by each other's rules, and Yugi challenges him to a duel, like, Ash would have to then be shackled to this system. Ash doesn't know how to play with these cards or these monsters. He just knows Pikachu, so he's just gonna lose.
It's true.
It's true.
And, like, I think for Yugi, it'd be a lot more easy for him to be like, pick up, oh, I throw a Pokeball and command it to do something. I think I could pick that up and do that based off of my knowledge of Duel Master stacks.
Ow. Oh no! Your cat attack. I saw that.
He just jumped up and attacked me.
Oh baby. Oh. Are you gonna show him for the audience? For the YouTube audience? Oh, he ran away already.
He ran away,
only if they jump up. Alright, we're gonna move to our next one. So the next one we're gonna do is Sailor Moon versus Madoka.
Oh.
Which I don't know much about Madoka Magica. So
Madoka.
Larissa, this is all on you because you know both.
You got
this. I kind of targeted this more towards Larissa, and I was like, you know what? We need some girls in here, so I chose them.
That was really, really difficult because the whole point of Madoka Magica is like a deconstruction of the stereotype of like magical girls, like most influentially Sailor Moon.
That's why at least like I was like, okay, perfect. There's Sailor kind of, or like that like genre, you know,
magical girl. Yeah,
that's it.
Right. And so if you're going to like look at her from like different stages, like are we looking at them from like their each other's god levels, or are we looking at them from their like their prime early days of learning their magic, that's tough to say because I feel like it's just so different because Madoka's powers are essentially Sailor Moon's powers in like the first season, where she has some like moon prison makeup power with these like objects, and like it's not anything too crazy. Does that make sense? But like as she evolves, she's actually the weakest in her entire group of like her gal pals. And so
Madoka is?
Yeah, so a lot of the times she takes a backseat and all of her other friends are fighting these witches and things, and then she comes in at the last minute to save the day, sort of a day. She doesn't take credit.
Okay.
Wow, what a thief.
But there's a lot
Sailor
going
Moon can
on.
destroy universes. She can wipe out time.
But so can Madoka Magica when she becomes her god form. There's a lot of like complex narrative stuff.
So it depends on the situation, it sounds like.
Basically, one of her friends has the ability to time travel. And so she keeps repeating the same time point over and over again, like Groundhog's Day, in order to prevent Madoka from dying in each of her timelines.
So how about take away the Sailor Scouts, take away Madoka's friends? If it was just those two, do you feel like there's a better inkling there?
Well, okay, because then you would have to go with like Madoka Magica Timeline 1 then. Because the reason why she's so OP is that her friends unwillingly actually gave her a bunch of god tier powers that Madoka doesn't realize until like the final boss, where she literally becomes god and undoes all of the wishes essentially of all of the other magical girls in the entire universe. Where she makes them whole so they never transform into a witch.
So it's probably a pretty even match.
Yeah, it really just depends.
Okay.
But I will say from pure combat and fighting, Sailor Moon, because she has a lot more direct power and hits. And everything else, they're pretty much the same. Like emotionally, they're both crybabies. They're the weakest. They need a lot of help from their friends.
Right.
So
power of friendship.
All right, we're gonna do one more.
One more.
All
okay,
right.
last one.
I wanted to touch on two series we haven't talked about yet, two animes.
Okay.
It is Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia, the main guy, Deku, and then Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh.
Okay, so although Full Metal Alchemist is a better show, is a better story, all that stuff.
Sure.
And Edward's awesome.
He is.
It's Deku. He can literally like create a bomb essentially just by flicking his finger. You know, he has the power of pretty much a god inside of him.
Okay.
He's extremely strong. I haven't seen past like season 7 of it or something. I don't know. I stopped watching after a while. But I know he gets stronger and stronger and stronger and faster. And Edward's got to do things to create his powers. He's got to like put his hands together and then, you know, form a seal and do all these other things. I think Deku's got the upper hand, unfortunately.
Well,
I would agree with you.
What are you going to say, Lorissa?
I was going to say, I think you're forgetting that at the end of the series, Edward can do instant transmutation.
Right.
So he doesn't have to do those hand signals or anything. He could just straight up do alchemy and do whatever he wants. So I think it would be a lot more fair battle then. Okay. I think the difference is Edward relies too heavily on his alchemy skills. He never really trained too much with his
like body or
combat.
His weakness is his combat art, because like though Winfrey's a really talented mechanist, there's always going to be a limit to metal, and I think Deku can take advantage of that. And once his arm's gone, he can't really do too much.
Also, can he fight? I mean, does he ever actually get into hand-to-hand combat all that often?
Not that often.
Edward, yeah.
I would say the biggest one that comes to mind is when he fights like Scar, because Scar is so like close, you know? Yeah. I think that, at least for me, that comes to my head. Okay. At least in terms of another person, not like say like a homunculi or something, but
right.
Yeah, and even then his weakness was his arm, where he just literally like came undone from his body. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I have a whole bunch of other ones that we didn't get to, but you know what? Maybe we can do a part 2 later in the future and do some of these other ones. So I would like to say thank you all at home for listening, and thank you for supporting us. Hopefully you enjoyed on YouTube, if you've been watching that way, to see our faces for the first time, kind of put names to, or not names, but like names, voices, faces all together. Yeah, basically, and kind of get to see how we do the podcast. But thank you for listening. New episodes drop every Thursday. I have been your host, Steph, and you can follow me at SpiffyStephie. You can follow Sam at Sir Captain Sam, and you can follow Lorissa at Larissa.Schaefer. And don't forget to follow the podcast at Shifting Tones Pod. Well, that's it for today and this week.
That's it.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.